Hello, and welcome to the Neurospicy Travel Podcast. Join me on my adventures abroad, where I embrace solo travel head-on. As a person with autism, I'd love to share my personal stories, insights, and practical tips for other fellow travellers on the spectrum. In this episode, I'll talk about my solo trip to Skegness here in the UK. It's a coastal spot I used to visit as a family, but over time there have been fewer and fewer tourists, I think due to funding. I couldn't remember the last time I visited, so I got my £41 return train with crossovers in Leeds and Grantham and zoned out into the endless fields for over 3 hours with my packed lunch ready and my backpack between my legs. I pre-booked my hotel for 2 nights here, which was £134 with a sea view. I used booking.com to book my room, and it was one of the more affordable spots, which was only a short walk from the train station. I wrote a diary entry for this entire trip and thought reading through it would probably be better to understand how I felt at the time too. So here goes my short journey to Skegness. 24th of November 2023. After a long 3.5-hour train ride with loud children and drunk middle-aged ladies, I finally made it to Skegness. With the frost coming in, I was calm by the sea. A short walk to the hotel. The streets were very clean and not as barren as the usual touristy beach strips. I look forward to venturing out once the sun comes through at some point tomorrow. A quick check-in at the Coasters Hotel. I followed the instructions on my email. Room 11, it said. I sat on a plastic yellow chair for an hour, a little confused. No sea view, and a room I couldn't swing a cat around in. I finally built up the courage to repack everything and go to reception to ask where my fancy pants studio was. Turns out I'd been speaking to a bot that didn't work on booking.com. The guy putting up Christmas decorations downstairs told me that all guests were being sent to room 11. What a mess. I quickly grabbed my things and off I went to my new upgrade on the top floor. My sea view, huge leather sofa and a coffee machine. Definitely worth the anxiety of complaining. Rested up like a queen, I researched food places near me. Funny, I never fancy fish and chips when I get to the beach. I looked outside to the 5 p.m. darkness and realised that everyone in KFC across the road could see into my room. I made a snap decision to go to the Steamboat Cookhouse next door. I probably should have made a reservation. I ended up in the tiniest 2-person booth. The staff crazy friendly. I wonder if they thought I was a secret shopper or something, making notes in my phone on my Todd. I ordered the vegetarian lasagna with garlic bread and chips. Overall, a good start to the trip. See if I can get a cheap bottle of rosé to bring back to the hotel and get my nose stuck into a book for tonight. Day 2. 10 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Definitely needed. I wake up to a beautiful sea view, a vanilla latte and Pokemon on TV. Just wonderful. Time to relax and wake up a bit before everywhere opens for breakfast. I have to squeeze everything in today as I'm heading home tomorrow. On today's itinerary, Skegness Aquarium, the Christmas market, and cinema to watch the new Wish movie. Wetherspoon's breakfast was as good as it ever is. Off for a walk on the seafront before the aquarium opens at 10. It's like a ghost town so far. On the beach, a Doberman ran up behind me and ran away, came back with his ball and dropped it at my feet. I played catch with him a few times. He was very friendly. I now have slimy hands. Its owner laughed and eventually called him over. Time for the aquarium. The aquarium was wonderful. Absolutely tiny, but had some fab setups in there. The scuba team came to the glass and put on a show making bubble rings and posing for a photo. Very cosy to get a seat and watch in the darkness. The Christmas fair was tiny as expected. About 10 small tents you'd expect to be selling vegetables. I played the tombola and a strange bottle game and just emptied the few coins from my purse. I left after 5 minutes and decided to do some shopping. I started getting stressed in their massive home bargains, so I tried to get out without buying something. I tried to shimmy past the staff gate and set the store alarm off. Everyone stared at me. I bolted through a queue and headed back to my room for my vegan bake and coffee for lunch. When it came to watch the new Disney movie, Wish, I was seconds away from turning back after groups of people started pouring out on bikes and teenagers ended up in the queue for the movie. Staff finally turned up to let us all in, just as the movie was starting. I've never seen such an old, dirty cinema. Strangely, I couldn't fault the audio or the screen. I'd give the movie a 6 out of 10. There were too many references and made zero sense. Not as funny as I'd hoped, but some good songs in there. My eye twitched every time the teenagers would bang a chair or shout or run to the screen and back, but they weren't beating me this time. After my freedom from the cinema, I finally fancied fish and chips, so I headed to the nicest one I could see from the cinema. Hussey's Fish and Chips. They gave me a little cosy booth and served the best fish and chips I've ever had with a coffee. All gone and worth every penny. It was nice not to have the grease on the roof of your mouth while your stomach bloats from all the potato. Would definitely recommend. A little quirky too, with an American radio on and fun modern beach theme with little huts to pay. Time to end the night with a nice shower, a face mask and the rest of my wine. Day 3. A long night tossing and turning. I got about 7 hours sleep. Probably should avoid coffee with dinner the night before. Pretty exhausted this morning, but happy to be heading home in a few hours. Breakfast was back at the Steamboat Cookhouse, the only place advertising a vegetarian breakfast. Little did I know, it was the Breakfast with a Santa event. A man with a terrible beard popped up behind me and started chatting about the weather. It was too early in the day for these festivities. £9.99 for an all-you-can-eat breakfast, and I can't make it past one plate. Never mind. Lots of grumpy people around, so I finish my coffee and head back to my room to use up the last hour before checkout. No idea what I'll be up to for the 2 hours until my train, but I'm going to be really cold at this toasty 3 degrees. Need to keep topped up with coffee today. I'll summarise my trip now while I'm killing time. Overall, a nice trip. Not much to do here, and all can be done in a day. Some strange southern accents and moody people, but a clean place and a nice beach. I spent £72 in 3 days, including meals, which isn't too bad. Next up, maybe Brighton or Bournemouth. A quick disclaimer, with ASD, is how I feel and what I see. I have no facts, no wish to teach. I want to share confidence to head for the beach. Ask your questions and give advice. Write your comments, but keep it nice. Another tale of travel at sea. In 1 month's time, who knows where I'll be. A quiet space, sun, a sea that's glistening. Thanks for finding me, and thanks for listening.